My name is Heather Drane. I live in the Berkeley district. Before I go to my prepared remarks, I would like to just say that assuming you know somebody's race based on their name is actually the most racist thing I've heard today. At the last meeting, Lisa Phelps congratulated herself on the fact that so many Spotsylvania County Schools educators were now signing their contracts when back in November they had said they wanted to leave. Sadly, many of our educators have left. There was a sad last day of school, and also a scary one, but that was for a tornado. But even the fact that there was so much confusion about the tornado alert and whether we should move schools or should we even had school that day, it just kind of shows the lack of leadership that's happening in our school right now. The people that have left, the pay raises that you offered is not enough to repair the damage that has been done in this system, and it all comes down to one word, which is trust. That's what, when I try to understand what's going on, and having stepped away after the last day of school, having a little bit of a break from my job and a break from coming here, coming back tonight, it makes me realize what a toxic environment this is, to come back into it and see it just, it's got my heart beating fast. It has me feeling kind of nauseous. But, if I could try to encapsulate it into one word, I do think it comes down to trust. Trust in educators to do the job that you hired us to do. I signed a contract that had Mr. Twig's name on it. So I assume, Mr. Twig, that you felt you trusted me to do the job, or else why extend the contract to me? Trust in librarians to select books that are appropriate for students. And when I try to understand where is this lack of trust coming from, I do see it's like a general lack of trust in all government institutions, that people have learned, that have been taught that they shouldn't trust these institutions. And I understand that it can be difficult to trust. We all have a lot of fear right now, a lot of uncertainness about what the future holds. And that fear is very real and it's very tangible. And the people that come up here and express concerns about the schools, they're afraid. They're afraid for their community. They're afraid for their children. And I totally, I understand that, because I myself have a lot of fears about the direction that our community is heading and the direction the school system is heading. So how do we rebuild that trust? What can we do now that this trust seems to be so shaken and so broken? One of the things that I would recommend is having conversations with people, even people that we disagree with, to try to understand where they're coming from and build that empathy. I think that, me as an educator, trying to go out and to talk to people and to get them to understand what my beliefs are, what my mission is in this community, which is to serve this community, to serve the children of this community. I think that there needs to be some acceptance of decisions that maybe we don't like. The books that were challenged, the community said that these books were acceptable for high school. I don't think that reestablishing trust in our community and our decision-making process means that we just appeal it until a slim majority on the school board decides which books go in the library and which books get removed. I don't think that as board members you would think it would be appropriate that just 4 of you would decide which books belong in a library. I wouldn't want that responsibility myself. I think that we also need to work on some transparency. Ms. Gillespie, you said that at the previous meeting that there was a lot of discussion that went on between you and the Board of Supervisors or members of the Board of Supervisors in trying to hammer out the budget plan for this county. But those aren't the types of discussions that should be happening in back rooms when other people aren't around. Those are the types of conversations when you're talking about how you spend the money that we pay into this community. Those are the kinds of conversations that should be happening out in front of people, not in back rooms and not without the community understanding what's going on. And if you have to say that, oh, well, I was working on this behind the scenes, but you didn't know, that's not really the way any of this should work. It should not all be revealed and some momentous moment at some future point in time. It should be here, being discussed in front of the community so that we can make decisions collectively. Thank you.